Hello world, this is Zan playing Late Age Calum in Lucid's 2022 Dominions 5 tournament. This is turn 67, and honestly, it's a pretty crappy turn. Let's find out why. To start with, I'm getting attacked by Earth Elementals. Thankfully, one of them starts hitting my scouts. The other one successfully assassinates whom? A random Harab Seraph. That's okay. A disease demon comes in, but fails to kill the Harab Elder. We get hit by fireballs. So there's a Flame from the Sky cast, and this is honestly a huge mistake on my end. A big tip that was given to me is when you have these cast on you, it's a long story. Let's say you're sieging a fort, and you know that they're going to cast this on you. You want to send enough forces to that fort to threaten to crack it, and threaten to storm it. However, if you know you're going to get Flame from the Sky, you want to also, the same turn that you're either storming or whatever, the turn after you think you're going to get hit by Flame from the Sky, you want to move things to that province. So that way, the initial army gets hit by these fireballs, but the second army coming in is fresh. That's what you're supposed to do. That is not what I did. So that's unfortunate. So I took a very big hit and I lost a lot of units. We have Battle in the Morn Woods, where I am doing a Winds of Death, and I kill some units, but ultimately my mage dies. That's bad. The teleporting golem kicks my butt in PD. That's bad. I guess I kind of win in this fight. Against not much. That's okay, I guess. I lose in this fight, although this is another Winds of Death trap, and I'm able to kill 2 Grove Guard and a Sage. It's something. Not really great. I lose in this fight. I capture 50 Blood Slaves. I mean, that's good, I guess. There's a hell of a lot of seduction attempts. Some succeed, some fail. I think we're okay, for the most part. Maybe. Who did they kill? Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. And then we have a major battle at Zocs, which, again, I remind you, if I had properly sent a reinforcing army in, I think I might have been okay. But as you see, I don't have much in the way of anything in this army. I have my Nature Caster here in the back, who thankfully was immune to, not immune, but highly resistant to fire damage with his gear. I have the Golem, who honestly doesn't care. I have some mages, I guess, but nothing major is really going to happen with those mages. So I goofed really hard here. I don't have the major spells being cast, or I didn't have redundancy on the major spells being cast. Meanwhile, Pangea brings in probably the most Illiths I've ever seen in a Dominions 5 game ever. A horde of mages, but not much in the troop count. I'm not even going to go through what they're casting, because we know they're casting everything. So very quickly, I cast Natural Storm, I cast Relief. Rot Flesh the Vampire Lord, I think that is theirs. Yes, my Vampire Lord is Toldi, who is here to cast Rush of Strength. So they cast Wailing Winds on me, rather than the other way around. They also cast Astral Tempest. Combines very well with Wailing Winds, as it does plink, do a little bit of damage to all of my units. They cast Wrathful Skies. They also cast Relief, and importantly, they cast Solar Brilliance, which is a really cool spell for Late Age Pan. As most of their units have recuperation, being blinded isn't actually that bad for them. Meanwhile, my units, if they get blinded, they're done for. That's the end of their career, because they're not going to live another fight, they're going to get killed. Because I'm not going to take them out of the army, hell no. So on top of that, we got Wrathful Skies, we got Thunder Strikes coming down. They have a huge guard commander, and I might have been... Honestly, that's probably my Thunder Strike. I might have been okay if I brought in a reinforcing army to add more spells to this. I lost a lot of units on the Flames from the Skies, and I lost either gems or important commanders to the assassinations, and I should have had a reinforcing army. I messed up. And Pan comes in and takes full advantage of that. His line of Illiths, very powerful troops. All of that just combines together to kick my butt. Like, these Grove Guard with all of these buffs on them are absolutely disgusting. Look at that. Weapons of Sharpness. You can't super combat at this guy. This is insane. So I goofed really hard, and Pan just sweeps me aside. No contest. And that is the battle at Zocs. So he loses almost nothing, and whereas I have a near total defeat, not counting all the deaths from the assassination battles and from the Flame from the Skies. We continue to get raided in Range of Lights. We lose in Star Peaks. We lose in the Barren... Oh, no. Look. We've won a battle in the Barren Crags. A sizable military force versus a Pangean raiding squad, apparently with an armor of knights on that werewolf. We have another battle where we have moved on to Belagor, but we get pinged by a horse tribe chief. Nothing crazy. Lose again. And at least we took something here. Midgard and Atlantis are fighting. Get raided. Lose here. I successfully raid here with another vampire. Look at this giant PD dump. I think I spotted this earlier. Yeah, so this PD dump came in earlier, stopped one of my forces, and I sent Limber, the Vampire Lord, just to kind of clear it out, because maybe it's not as effective against Gift of Nature's Bounty, but when a player does a PD dump like this against you, and then they leave it alone, you want to go and clear it out really quick, because it's really easy to clear out PD. So you just want to get it out of the way real quick so that they can't use it against you later. So in this case, I just sent this lovely vampire who comes with Invulnerable 25, is able to Soul Vortex, and I give him a Flesh Eater, just so that if they do manage to hurt him, he stays on the field. He's not going to rout. Although, I think at this point, he's absorbed enough health through the Soul Vortex that I think he'll be okay. There you go, they've damaged him, so now he's berserking. He is going to refuse to leave, which is cool. Again, I trust in his production, I trust in his regeneration, I trust in that Soul Vortex. So, I think he's okay. Yeah. Whereas, I think it's happened before where some situations, the vampires, somebody gets a lucky hit on them and then they end up retreating. Okay, using a humongous military force of my own, I'm able to take a province. And here. Of course, the Eyeless Elementals are going to keep kicking my butt. Get some random stuff here and there. We break this fortification at Belagor. Looking at the map, most of the fighting took place down here in my southern border, Pan's northern border. The battle at Zocs was here, and the important thing of that battle, and you see, look at all these forces I still had in reserve. I should have sent all of this into Zocs. Almost as if it was almost as if the first army was dead to me, and I needed a second army with the redundancy to cast all the other spells. And what that would have given me is the option, should the game go in a way where I am able to throne rush, to jump on top of the Raspberry Woods and take that throne. How the heck I would have gotten through Vengeful Waters? Well, I don't know. That's a problem for, future Zan to deal with. But currently, taking Zocs would have been good. At least for the potential of me throne rushing. Unfortunately, now this has devolved into this raiding war. He hasn't moved this army in Halbrithia, so it's possible he might fort this, because he's seen that this is the Wizard of the Crescent Moon Province, which are very good mages. It's got a lot of gems in it. And it's probably my only Astral, so maybe he wants to choke me out on Astral, or just secure very good indie mages. I still have this army kind of moving in. I'm chasing it with this. Soon, I think they should be locked down as they move through these provinces. This golem just wants to go around and take, or at least disrupt, provinces that have a lot of gem sites, or provinces that have temples to weaken my dominion and increase his ability to use Gift of Health on me. He's stockpiling other armies now in his south. That Gift of Nature's Bounty is really coming in clutch. The Raiden Troll lands over here. Nothing big. Maybe he just wants to interact with my army here at Belagor. For the most part, my Abyssian board is now secure, and I'm able to move this army back to the front, and we'll see where that goes. Ultimately, however, one of the things that did happen this turn is with my defeat at Zocs, I signaled to Atlantis and Midgard that I'm going to need help in this war, because if I do lose this war, I don't think they're going to be able to stop Gift of Nature's Bounty Pan. So it is in their very best interest that I don't die. It has been in their best interest to beat up Pan for the last 10-15 turns. But, you know, that's their decision to make. Regardless of them now figuring out that, okay, maybe they should do something about Pan, I still have to retain a defensive position. I really have to put more effort into adding redundancy to my armies if I have to deal with flames from the sky, a lot of remote assassinations, or just dryad assassinations, because the Pangean troops are very tough to deal with. So I have to continue my guerrilla warfare as best I can. These are most of the movements I'm doing, which is just consistently trying to move something in to defend my temples. You know, this golem is annoying. I have some mages with gems, but my issue right now is the gem economy is starting to disappear. And I really need those to contest, or at least to give me something to contest Pangea's gold superiority with. And for that, I need my gems. It's a tough call, but this was honestly a pretty terrible turn, so I think I'll just leave it here for this one and see you guys on turn 68.